World War I, also known as the Great War, was one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. It shattered empires, redrew borders, and changed the face of warfare forever. But behind the stories of heroism and the battles we learned about in history class lie dark secrets and hidden atrocities that are often overlooked. Today, we'll dive deep into the most important and horrifying untold aspects of World War I. Long before the first shots were fired, Europe was a ticking time bomb. Secret alliances and backroom deals between nations created a web of entanglements that turned a regional conflict into a world war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 may have lit the fuse, but the powder keg had been filling for decades. The intricate system of alliances, many of them kept from the public eye, meant that when one nation was attacked, others were bound to join the conflict. What was initially thought to be a brief localized war escalated into a global catastrophe. These secret agreements left entire populations unaware of the storm that was about to engulf them. World War I introduced a new, terrifying form of warfare: chemical weapons. Poisonous gases like chlorine and mustard gas were deployed for the first time on a large scale, changing the battlefield forever. While the official narrative often frames chemical warfare as a desperate but brief experiment, the truth is far darker. Gas didn't just kill, it caused slow, excruciating deaths. The use of these chemicals violated all ethical standards of war. The widespread use of gas left tens of thousands of soldiers permanently disfigured, blind or paralyzed, even years after the war had ended. The psychological toll was immense, leaving survivors to live with the trauma of gas attacks for the rest of their lives. One of the darkest and most controversial chapters of World War I is the Armenian genocide. In 1915, the Ottoman Empire, fearing internal dissent, systematically began the extermination of 1.5 million Armenians. Men were executed, women and children were forced on death marches into the Syrian desert, and entire villages were wiped from existence. Despite overwhelming evidence, the genocide is still denied by some to this day. The Armenian genocide wasn't just a tragic footnote in history, it laid the groundwork for later atrocities, with Hitler himself citing it as proof that the world would turn a blind eye to mass murder. Espionage played a crucial, yet often forgotten role in World War I. Both sides used spies, informants and saboteurs to undermine the enemy's efforts from within. The British intelligence service, MI5, successfully cracked German codes, while German spies orchestrated deadly sabotage operations on Allied soil. One of the most significant secrets of the war was the Zimmermann telegram, a coded message sent by Germany to Mexico proposing a military alliance. When British intelligence intercepted the telegram and made it public, it helped sway American public opinion in favor of entering the war. The ability to crack enemy codes and infiltrate spy networks became a turning point in modern warfare, showing that wars were not just fought on the battlefield, but in the shadows as well. While we often think of the physical wounds of war, World War I also left a deep psychological scar on those who survived. Known at the time as shell shock, what we now understand as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, ravaged the minds of soldiers. Many men returned from the war broken, unable to function in society, haunted by the horrors they had witnessed. The medical community was ill-prepared to deal with the psychological damage caused by the relentless artillery bombardments, the inhumane conditions of trench warfare, and the unimaginable loss of life. Soldiers were often treated with cruelty or dismissed as cowards, their suffering stigmatized for decades. World War I was not just a European war, it was a truly global conflict. Millions of soldiers from colonial territories were recruited, often forced into service, yet their contributions and sacrifices are largely forgotten. Indian soldiers fought in foreign lands for empires that barely acknowledged them after the war ended. African soldiers fought in foreign lands for empires that barely acknowledged them after the war ended. Southeast Asian soldiers fought in foreign lands for empires that barely acknowledged them after the war ended. Civilian casualties were enormous. Entire villages were wiped out, homes destroyed and families torn apart. In many parts of Europe, hunger and disease claimed as many lives as the battles themselves. These forgotten victims of the war, both the colonial soldiers and the civilians, are a reminder that the true cost of war extends far beyond the front lines. World War I forever changed the world. It was a war where the secrets, lies and atrocities shaped the course of history. But it was only the beginning. As devastating as the First World War was, the seeds it planted would lead to an even greater conflict, World War II. The secrets and atrocities of the First War pale in comparison to what was about to come. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll uncover the most important secrets and atrocities of World War II. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on the next episode, where we reveal the untold horrors of the Second World War. Until then, remember, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it.